decided to spend their day off from school exploring a local nature trail in Delphi, Indiana. It was a mild winter day, and the High Bridge, an old abandoned railroad trestle, was a popular spot for photos and adventure. Libby, a vibrant 8th grader, loved documenting their time together. As they walked across the decaying wooden planks, high above Deer Creek, she pulled out her phone and started recording. It was a seemingly ordinary moment of friendship, captured in a digital snapshot. But what Libby's phone also captured was something far more sinister. A short time later, when the girls failed to meet their ride home, a search began. The next day, their bodies were discovered less than a mile from the bridge. The small, tight-knit community of Delphi was plunged into a nightmare. What happened on that bridge has become one of the most haunting mysteries of our time. The search for answers would hinge on a few seconds of grainy footage and a chilling audio recording, both recovered from Libby German's phone. In the final moments of her life, Libby had the presence of mind to activate her phone's camera, capturing not just a video, but also the voice of the man who approached them. The video shows a figure, a man dressed in blue jeans, a blue jacket, and a brown hoodie, walking deliberately toward them. His face is obscured, his hands are in his pockets, but his stride is unmistakable. And then there's the audio. Just 3 words, spoken in a low, commanding tone, that have echoed across the internet and in the minds of millions. Down the hill. These fragments of evidence were all police had to go on. The man in the video was quickly nicknamed the Bridge Guy. Law enforcement released the photo and the audio clip to the public, hoping someone would recognize the man's voice, his gait, or his clothing. The response was overwhelming. Tips poured in from all over the world. The Delphi case became a national obsession, with armchair detectives and online communities dedicating countless hours to dissecting every pixel of the photo and every inflection in the audio. Yet, despite the unprecedented public interest, the identity of the Bridge Guy remained a frustrating enigma. For years, the investigation seemed to stall. The community of Delphi lived under a cloud of fear and suspicion. How could a killer walk among them? His face seen by millions, yet remain free. The initial police sketch of the suspect, based on witness accounts, depicted a man who looked different from the person in the video, leading to confusion. Was it the same person? Were there 2 suspects? The lack of clear answers only deepened the mystery and the community's anguish. Abby and Libby's families pleaded for anyone with information to come forward, no matter how small the details seemed. They held vigils, maintained a constant presence in the media, and refused to let their daughter's memories fade. Their grace and determination in the face of unimaginable loss became a powerful force driving the search for justice. As time passed, the investigation took unexpected turns. Police tactics shifted. They released a new sketch, one that looked younger and bore a stronger resemblance to the figure on the bridge. They also revealed more about the crime scene, suggesting the killer likely had local knowledge of the area. The focus narrowed, shifting from a broad nationwide search to a more localized one. Investigators repeatedly stated their belief that the killer was from Delphi or had strong ties to the community. He was hiding in plain sight. This revelation sent a new wave of unease through the town. The person responsible could be a neighbor, a coworker, someone you pass in the grocery store. The sense of safety was shattered. The case felt like it was going cold. Years turned into 5, then more. The families and the community held on to hope, but the silence was heavy. Then, in October 2022, a major breakthrough was announced. A local man named Richard Allen was arrested and charged with the murders of Abby and Libby. The news sent shockwaves through Delphi and the entire true crime community. Allen was a resident of Delphi. He worked at the local CVS. He was a father and a husband. He was not someone who had been on the public's radar. The arrest raised more questions than it answered. How could he have lived a normal life for over 5 years, just miles from the crime scene? According to court documents, the case against Richard Allen began to solidify around a single unspent bullet. This bullet, found between the bodies of the two girls, was forensically linked to a handgun owned by Allen. Furthermore, investigators discovered that Allen himself had admitted to being on the Mononhai Bridge on the day the girls disappeared. He claimed he was there watching fish and saw 3 young girls on the trail, but denied any involvement. For years, this information apparently sat in the case files, one of many interviews conducted in the early days. It wasn't until the ballistics match that all the pieces clicked into place for law enforcement. The man who had been hiding in plain sight was finally in custody. The arrest, however, did not bring the immediate closure many had hoped for. The legal proceedings have been complex and fraught with delays. Shocking new details emerged from sealed documents, suggesting a far more ritualistic and disturbing crime scene than was ever publicly known. These revelations have only deepened the horror of what happened to Abby and Libby. The defense has argued that Allen is innocent, a scapegoat in a flawed investigation, and has pointed fingers at other potential suspects. The case is now entangled in legal battles, with a gag order preventing anyone involved from speaking publicly. The path to a trial and to a final verdict is still long and uncertain. The Delphi murders are a story about the loss of innocence, both for 2 young girls and for an entire community. But it's also a story about incredible courage. The courage of Libby German, who, in her final moments, had the foresight to capture the evidence that would lead to an arrest. Her bravery has ensured that the man on the bridge could not remain a faceless ghost. It's a story about the unwavering love of 2 families who have fought tirelessly for justice, reminding the world that behind the headlines are real people whose lives were shattered. And it's a story about a community that refuses to forget. The trail where Abby and Libby spent their last day is now a memorial park, a place of beauty and remembrance. The mystery of the bridge guy may be moving toward a resolution in a courtroom, but the legacy of Abby and Libby is one of light in the face of darkness. It teaches us about the strength of the human spirit, the enduring power of family, and the courage of one young girl who fought back with the only weapon she had.